Wake up, everybody. Something very significant has been happening in the world and accelerating over the course of the last few weeks. It is the diplomatic activities of China. I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined down the line from New York by author and acknowledged expert on China, Chang. Gordon, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Over here in the UK, Gordon, we're so busy in the West. We're so busy tearing ourselves apart over issues like trans rights that we haven't noticed what China has been up to. And I've been watching, summits with Saudi Arabia and Iran, visits to Moscow, even a new deal with Honduras. Please tell us, give us a précis, what has China been up to diplomatically in the last couple of months?
Well, thank you, Nigel. The most important thing is that China and Russia have been conspiring. They have been creating this new axis. So really what we have is the world is divided. A lot of people in the West say, oh, I don't want this to happen, and sort of assume it won't because of that. But no, the Chinese and the Russians are doing this. Last Wednesday, a week ago, when Xi Jinping left Moscow, when he was saying goodbye to Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping stated, change is coming that has not occurred over the last 100 years. And then he said to Putin, you and I together are going to be driving this change, which is basically saying that China and Russia rule the world. We're seeing this in Ukraine. And this is exceedingly dangerous because, as you say, we in the West are not paying attention.
No, that's right. I mean, is that the same in America? I know that Trump talks about the China issue, but generally, my impression is that on Capitol Hill, it's talked about as much as it is in our parliament. What is wrong with us? Are we sort of in denial about the threat the Chinese Communist Party poses?
Yes, democracies are very good for being in denial, especially my democracy, America. We did not pay attention to Islamic terrorists when they killed 6 people by bombing the North Tower of the World Trade Center in 1993. We Americans only took notice on 9/11 when Osama bin Laden reached out and killed 2,977 Americans on one day. And then we woke up. But then it was too late. Really, what we're seeing right now is the same thing. This is the 1930s all over again. Except for Britain and France being feeble, it's the United States being feeble.
Well, I'm worried about it. And I couldn't believe the sight of China brokering talks between sworn enemies, Iran and Saudi Arabia. What's going on in the Middle East? I mean, this is an area where America has done its utmost to have influence.
Yes, well, during the Trump era, we had the best foreign policy in the Middle East since FDR. We had the Abraham Accords, which President Trump should have won the Nobel Peace Prize for. But Biden came in and he's decided to undo that. He's decided a very pro-Iran focus. And his pro-Iran focus fits in with China because China is the main backer of the regime in Tehran. And also Biden decided to isolate Saudi Arabia because over the Khashoggi murder. And what that did was it left the door wide open for Saudi Arabia to abandon the U.S., to reject all of our policies, and to embrace Beijing.
Gordon, I'm incredibly worried about what's going on. Thank you for giving us a quick update. I hope waking up our listeners, our viewers. And we'll have you back on again, please, before too long.